Because deen is not just a religion. Islam is not just a religion. First thing, deen is a way of life. But here, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks, do you not see? Now, رَأَيْتَ, رَأَيْ is فعل ماضٍ, past tense. And the ta here is at the mahal of rafa, as the fa'il. What does that mean? In Arabic, when you have a jumla fi'liya, then you have to have a fa'il and a fa'il. The fa'il here is see. And the ta is a damir. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking to you. Right? He's mukhatib to you, and that is the one that is the fa'il, the actor. Alladhi is ism masul. في محل النصب هو مفعول به. يعني this is what's being done to. يكذب بالدين. يكذب, again, this is فعل, but it's مضارع. This is a present tense in the Arabic language, and it is the fa'il, it is the actor that's going to be used for the coming up, which is what are they doing? Is they are denying. يكذب بالدين. Okay, what does it mean, deen? Now, just because I know sometimes when I get into the grammar, I lose the non-Arabic speaking audience. So I'm going to translate it, easy translation. Have you seen the one who denies the repugnance or the final judgment? Right? Now, interestingly, I didn't translate deen as religion. Right? And most translations will not. Why? Because deen is not just a religion. Islam is not just a religion. First thing, deen is a way of life. But linguistically, and Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, the great Sahabi, explained this, not my understanding. He said, deen comes from dan, which is also the root word for dain. What does dain mean in Arabic? Come on, where are the Arabs here? Huh? A loan. Excellent. Barakallah. Huh? Dain is loan. Dan is judgment, a judge. So what does it mean? Deen here, and that's in Surah Al-Fatiha as well, Yawmuddin. Not the day of religion. It is the day you get the recompense for what you did. You sow what you planted, right? You get the reward or punishment for your actions. That is the day of deen, Yawmuddin. So the one who denies that there is that judgment, this is about that person. And why? Because if you know that you have to stand in front of Allah, wallahi, you will never be harsh to a needy person. You will never be cruel. Because you know in front of Allah, you have to respond to that. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about. The one, أَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ, the one who fears standing in front of his Lord. وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى, and controls their lower desires. فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى, then verily Jannah will be their destination. But the one who denies that, you know what? I'm not worried about, even though as Muslims today, we know there's a day of judgment. We believe in the day of judgment. We say we believe in the day of judgment. Then you go to many Muslim countries and you see a poor yatim kid and somebody will just slap him or throw him away or push him away. Get away from me. How could you be cruel to somebody who's that fragile of a state? Don't you fear Allah will hold you accountable? Because we say with our tongue that yes, there's a day of judgment, but our actions speak otherwise. We lie, we cheat, we do all steal, we're corrupt, we take rishwa, we do all of that because really we're not thinking that I have to stand in front of Allah. Because if you did, all your actions would be fixed. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He begins the surah by saying, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, have you not seen the one who denies that judgment, that recompense? And the rest of the surah is just a sifa of this person. Interesting. This first ayah tells you about a person. The rest of the surah just tells you what are the sifat, what are the characteristics of that person. And every one of us should pay attention so those characteristics don't come in us. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about them? فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يُدُعْ الْيَتِيمِ. فَذَلِكَ الْفَ here is actually jawab al-shart. For those who know Arabic, it's giving you something here, this person, and the response to what are the shurut that make this person who he is, the jawab al-shart is with the fa. ذَلِكَ ism ishara. And it's very interesting. In Arabic, we have ism ishara when you point at something. So if there's somebody very close to you, do you say ذَلِكَ Ibrahim? No, you say هذا Ibrahim. But if Ibrahim was sitting way up there, I would say ذَلِكَ Ibrahim. هذا is used for somebody close. ذَلِكَ for far. Right? So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say هذا. He says ذَلِكَ. And as Imam Ibn Adil Hanbali, he says that this is a pointer to say that this person is away from Allah. That he's not close to Allah, he is away from Allah. فذلك الذي اسم موصول في محل الرفع فهو الخبر. يعني المبتدا, this is جملة اسمية. مبتدا, the predicate or what's being talked about, the subject is ذلك, that person, right? What is the khabar? What is the news? الذي, the one. يدع, يعني يدع, the one who violently, aggressively pushes. Huh? Who does he push? Al-yatim. Now yatim here is maf'ul bihi. يعني this is the grammar of it. Mansub bil-fatha dahira. Imam al-Tabari, the great scholar of tafsir, who has tafsir al-Tabari, which is called the al-Tafasir, the mother of all tafasir, with the Hasan, with a reliable chain from Al-Hasan al-Basri, from Al-Qatada, he says that this person, he belittles the yatim and yadlamahu, and he oppresses the yatim. How horrible does that sound, right? But think about it. In Muslim countries today, you don't see that. In joint families, somebody's father dies, now the uncle comes and takes their land and takes their wealth and whatever excuse they may make. Isn't this dhulm still being done today? Even for us. And I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to be fake. Like, I'm going to be real. I don't like fakeness. My mother is here, may Allah bless her. When we go somewhere, no matter how many poor people come, she gives them. Me, I get sick of it, right? You give, and you're like, all right, come on, man, I got things to do. You know, like I'm being honest. And that's why this surah should affect me. That when a needy person comes, never push them away. Now, don't get taken advantage of. It's not the same. You know, somebody has like a scam they're running. I'm not going to be taken advantage of. As Umar radiallahu anh says, that I don't trick or take advantage, but I don't also let anybody trick me or take advantage of me. But if you do see somebody needy, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much you've already given, whatever you have, give them. You never know, that might be the one deed that gets you into Jannah.